After paying $100,000 for my daughter's wedding, she changed her last name and blocked me. The text came at 2:13 a.m. Her name lit up my screen, the same name that once felt like a pulse in my chest. But the words carved something different now. You're not part of my new family. Mom's new husband is my real dad. My thumb hovered, my mind didn't. It fell, deep, past memories of scraped knees I had bandaged, birthdays I had paid for, a wedding I had emptied my savings into. $100,000. Gone with a smile, a dress, and a promise she made to a man who wasn't me. And then, silence. She blocked me. A daughter I raised became a stranger overnight. 5 years later, the knock came. I opened the door and saw her. Tears, shaking hands, a broken voice rasping, "Dad, I need help." But the words that left my lips were colder than the night air wrapping around us. "Who are you?" Her face collapsed, shattered. I didn't flinch. It didn't start with the wedding. No, the betrayal had been fermenting long before that night. I had noticed her pulling away, small things at first. She started calling me by my first name. She avoided my calls but answered her mother's immediately. When her mother remarried, she smiled at that man with a kind of warmth I hadn't seen in years. I was financing her dreams, college, car, that glittering wedding she had always wanted. And yet, I was fading from the frame, blurred out of the picture, replaced by someone who hadn't carried her through a single storm. On her wedding day, she posed for photos with her mother's new husband. His hand rested on her shoulder where mine should have been. People clapped when he gave a toast. They called him Dad. I sat there, a ghost, while everyone applauded my disappearance. Then came the text. Cold, final, surgical. You're not part of my new family. Mom's new husband is my real dad. I didn't respond. I didn't beg. But something hollowed me out that night, and in its place grew silence, sharper than rage. I lived with the silence. I cultivated it. When she blocked me, I didn't chase. When she erased me from her life, I erased something too, my need for her validation. But I didn't stop watching. I kept the wedding photos, every smile, every stolen glance she gave him instead of me. I studied them like evidence, like clues. I followed the paper trail, her marriage license, the bank transactions tied to the wedding bills, the new legal name she took after that night. Not her husband's last name, his. Her mother's new husband's. Not an accident, a choice. She wanted to sever me, legally, emotionally, completely. I stayed quiet, no confrontations. But the silence was not weakness, it was patience. I heard about her life through whispers, through people who thought I didn't care. Jobs lost, debt piling. The perfect new family she chose crumbling, little by little. I didn't reach out. I waited. Because one day I knew she'd knock. And when she did, the weight of 5 years would be waiting at the door with me. The night she returned, I saw it immediately. She was hollow, bruised by life, not fists. Her new, real dad had left. The man she married had vanished too. Her kingdom of illusions had collapsed. She looked at me with desperate eyes, eyes that finally saw the value of what she had thrown away. "Dad, please, I need help." I didn't answer right away. I let the silence stretch. I let her feel it press against her chest. She had chosen to replace me, to write me out of her life like I was disposable. She had taken my money, my years, my love, and thrown them into someone else's hands. Now she came crawling back. I studied her like a stranger. My face betrayed nothing. The truth was simple. I didn't recognize her anymore. And maybe that was the cruelest truth of all. She stood on my porch, trembling. "Dad, I have nowhere else to go." I stepped forward, not with open arms, with a wall she could never climb again. I whispered, calm, precise. 5 years ago, you told me I wasn't part of your family. You blocked me out of your life. Tonight, I am only honoring your choice." Her eyes widened. "No, please, I didn't mean it." But I cut through her begging with silence, silence that weighed heavier than rage. I looked at her one final time and said the words that gutted her deeper than any scream could have. "Who are you?" Her face collapsed. She realized I wasn't asking. I was telling her. She was no one. And then I closed the door. The lock clicked. The house sank back into silence. I leaned against the door and breathed. Not relief, not triumph, something colder. Clarity. I had given everything once. Love, money, years of devotion. And she had chosen to bury me alive in her new family. Tonight, she came back expecting resurrection. But I am not a savior. I am a grave. I didn't feel sorrow watching her break outside my door. I didn't feel pity. I felt nothing. Because the moment she called another man dad, my daughter had died. And tonight, I buried the ghost. I didn't lose a daughter that night. She lost a father forever.